morning everybody and welcome to the GSM's Pride. Finally we have a Bronco Raptor here that we can actually walk around, we can show you, we can take out for a drive. Thank you to the customer that actually bought this car that is actually letting us do this. So let's check it out.
Ooh. Ferris, my father loves this car more than life itself.
First off, obviously we can only talk about the engine on this thing. It's a 3-litre EcoBoost twin turbo, 414 horsepower with 440 pounds-feet of torque. This thing is an absolute beast. I know a lot of people have been talking about that they didn't go with the V8, but this thing is so powerful. When I actually got to take it out for a drive, it was so impressive. But the great thing about this car is it is literally a vehicle that you can take Baja driving straight out of the factory. There's really nothing you have to do to this. So let's check out the rest of the car. You know, first thing I want to point out is the fenders on these things. Obviously I own a Bronco myself, and at first when they started previewing this, we actually didn't think it was going to be that much wider until you go front face to face and you see it's probably got about a 2-inch lip here, and then you've got these monstrous, absolute monstrous fender flares that are on the front of this vehicle. Obviously it's very much higher than a normal standard Bronco. It does have the 37-inch tires as standard, and this one specifically has the beadlock tires, the wheels, sorry. But there's the stance on this thing. If you put it next to another Bronco, it's just incredibly high. It does have the rock crawling sides and also a step. Trust me, for someone my height, I need this thing because I can't get in and out of it without it. Another really cool feature that Ford did with this is on this fender flare here, it says accessory ready. Now the reason they did this is so you can actually replace this, because they know full well that this is going to get a lot of rock chips on it. The rear light design is a little different to the standard Bronco. You got 3 specific pods and then full LED lights. Obviously also the protection on the side for when you're sliding around those big rocks. What Ford did with this, they kept a lot of the aggressive features very subtle on it. You've got the side air vents on the fender itself, and then you've also got the air duct on the top. It does say Raptor on here. There are very few Raptor logos on this vehicle. There's one on the rear, one on the top there, and then there's also a little secret one on the front on the LED lights just down here. A couple of really cool features on the interior. It does have a full 12-inch screen. It does have the Sync 4. One thing I love about this car, I was actually a little nervous about this one specifically, was the navy blue leather and suede interior. But when you actually see this, it is absolutely gorgeous to look at. And so you do get the leather, you do get the vinyl marine grade, and also the suede on the inside. The steering wheel is considerably thicker on the Bronco Raptor than it is on the normal Raptor. It does have the stereotypical red ring around the top for the center. And then also, it does have quite a lot of carbon fiber little tweaks here and there. But other than that, it's generally pretty much the same as a normal Bronco inside, except the power. So we were really lucky. The customer actually allowed us to drive it. Now he did tell me that he has a trade, so I've got to work him a little bit on that, but he's going to let me drive it, so let's take it out for a spin. So a couple of things I noticed straight off the bat, obviously owning a first edition, is it does feel a lot firmer on the road than the original. The steering wheel is quite a bit smaller. Obviously it's really thick. So it does, I don't know, it just has this kind of rugged, hardcore, like sturdy feel. I don't really know how to describe it specifically. A couple of really cool features with this. You've got 4 buttons on the steering wheel. One's for the suspension change where you can do it on the fly. Also the exhaust note. You have the steering wheel, how tight and how loose you want it. And then they have a button that's called the R button. So in the BMW world, they had the M button, which you basically could set the vehicle up to how you wanted it within performance, steering, you know, tight suspension, that kind of thing. And you can do the same with the Bronco Raptor. One thing I will say is it just sounds awesome. I'm not going to get on it too much. Obviously this is a customer's vehicle, but it's smooth, it's quiet, just like the other ones. You know, a lot of Jeep people are going to sit there and say, well, it doesn't have that rugged feel that the Jeep has. But to be honest with you, I would rather not have it, especially when you're going to use it on the road more than you're going to use it off-road. Now, yes, this vehicle is designed to go off-road. It is full-on Baja. You can literally go sand dune jumping on this thing out of the box, but at the end of the day, who's really going to spend $80,000 on a car and really do that? Not many. Other than that, the normal GOAT modes are still present. It's got Baja mode and Sport mode, which is kind of neat. But other than that, it's just a badass Bronco. So I actually just switched this to sport steering, and it does really tighten it up. So there's a couple of options on the steering specifically. The steering, you get the chance to do normal, comfort, and then sport. On the suspension, you've got normal, obviously, sport, and then off-road. So when you're going on any jumps or anything. Exhaust note, you've got Baja mode, which says you can only do it on when you're off-roading. Quiet, normal, sport. One other thing I would like to point out, and I'm not sure if this is just because I have a two-door, but the range on this car seems to be considerably more than mine. I think usually mine, I get around 240, 250 miles. This is stating right now 382 miles it's empty. So I don't know if it's just the fact that the four-door has a bigger tank on it and range, or if it's the Raptor itself. I'll have to do some research on that one, but this definitely has a lot more range in it if the gas tank's bigger on this, for sure. Well, I really hope you enjoyed that, because I did. As you can see, I wanted to finish off with just the stature versus a standard Bronco with the Bronco Raptor. It's crazy how much bigger this is. As always, over at Lou Fuse Ford, we can replace the car, not the customer. Up on this side, I'm going to stick up another video. On this side, I'm going to stick up a subscription to the GSM's Pride. Top corner there, Lou Fuse Ford, and I'll see you all next week.